Since the ceasefire agreement took effect in the Gaza Strip on October 10th, hopes for a sustained humanitarian relief effort have risen among Gaza's 2.4 million residents. However, the latest figures from the Gaza Government Media Office reveal that these hopes have yet to materialize. According to the office, only 986 trucks carrying humanitarian aid have entered the Gaza Strip since the ceasefire began, significantly below the agreed-upon total. By Monday evening, over 6,600 trucks were supposed to have arrived. Instead, the average number of trucks entering Gaza each day is less than 90, compared to the 600 trucks per day outlined in the ceasefire agreement. The flow of humanitarian aid is critical for the survival of Gaza's residents, many of whom have been left without access to basic necessities due to months of conflict and blockade. Footage from the Rafah and Kerem Shalom border crossings shows trucks filled with food, medical supplies, and fuel slowly making their way into the Strip. Some trucks are seen escorted by UN vehicles, while workers in yellow vests direct the convoys along dusty roads that pass destroyed buildings and displaced families. Despite the visible presence of aid, the shortfall is stark. The Gaza government reports that the small quantities received, including just 14 trucks of cooking gas and 28 trucks of solar fuel for bakeries, hospitals, and generators, are not enough to meet essential needs. Officials warn that a consistent flow of at least 600 aid trucks per day is urgently needed to secure food, medical care, relief supplies, and fuel for the enclave's population. The ceasefire deal, based on a phased plan presented by U.S. President Donald Trump, was intended to ease the blockade and allow for the rebuilding of Gaza. Phase 1 included the release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and set the stage for a new governing mechanism in the Strip. But the humanitarian provisions of the deal remain unmet. Residents and aid organizations on the ground describe ongoing shortages, with many families relying on limited distributions of bread and clean water, and hospitals struggling to keep generators running. The impact of these shortages is evident in daily life. Trucks carrying aid from the World Food Program wind through neighborhoods where residents, some carrying wooden sticks, watch anxiously for supplies. Empty trucks are seen leaving Gaza through the border gate, highlighting the imbalance between what is brought in and what is needed. International organizations and regional actors continue to call for the full implementation of the ceasefire's humanitarian terms, emphasizing that regular, sufficient deliveries of food, fuel, and medical supplies are vital for any prospect of stability or recovery in Gaza. As the situation develops, the world watches closely, hoping that promises made at the negotiating table translate into real relief on the ground for Gaza's civilians.
والسعيد